Well, let's go over here because I haven't actually looked over here yet. I'm getting close to the truth now. I'm going to blow this story wide open. Bob is going to regret never giving me real assignments. I'm sick of the gossip column. Once I prove that Bullard was murdered, big-name newspapers are bound to come calling. This looks like a puzzle. There are pieces of a torn-up photo here. It's actually not a very hard puzzle. It's a little bit stupidly easy. It's an old photo of two men on a ship. James Leroy and Harris Bullard, USS Access, 1949. They're signing right on the back of the photo. But it's not in my inventory. Huh. Everything in the drawers has been packed up already. Oh. I got hopeful. Make sure there's nothing in back there. Harris Bullard, I am Woodcutter. I know your secret. James Leroy sends his regards. This Woodcutter character is my prime suspect. I bet his blackmail scheme went south, so he killed Bullard. The wardrobe has been packed up. They really wasted no time in cleaning this place out. I'm not seeing anything here from here. Kind of strange that thing's just on the wall there. A little spoopy. Just a little. Border's been packed up. They haven't wasted any time, as you said. Well, I don't see much else in this room. Did hear something there, but... Here's the safe, but it's locked, obviously. Find the safe combination. There's no way I can open this safe without the combination. I'll have to come back here later. That's what I suspected. Well, we'll come back to this room. I guess we'll go to the other room for the moment. Found a lot of notes, though. So what should be through here? Gonna be using that sometimes to investigate the room for any secret details. Let's see what's in here. This house doesn't seem too big, but I know that we can probably still get to the basement from that one room. Maybe there's more than I realize. Obviously, this first note sticks out. What do we have here? Dear Diary, today is an anniversary. It was 5 years ago today that I found Dad's name on an old research paper, the U of C. He had written it in 1933, 8 years before I was born. I didn't... Wait. Ooh. I bet it's going to be this person's birthday, which is going to be 1941. I didn't know he had gone to college. I had never really thought about his life. He was just a name on my birth certificate. Dad ran out on Mama after the war. He had gone off to fight and just never came back. When we stopped writing, Mama thought he'd been killed. I remember her crying at the kitchen table. The war ended. Life went on. Mama died without ever finding out what had happened to him. I used to hate him, hated the idea of him, hated my mother a little bit too. I figured Dad was just a deadbeat who ditched Mama because he didn't want a kid. When I found his name in the library, something changed. I couldn't stop thinking about him. Deadbeat dads don't study physics, do they? What is he doing now? What does he look like? Is he married to somebody else? I traced him here to Kansas, but finding him is it's taking longer than I expected. Josie Heron came to Kansas to look for her father. Huh. Look, another mirror thing. Oh, to equip goggles. Josie moved in with Bullard last year after he retired. The busybodies had a field day. Josie's quite a looker. I don't think she'd waste her time on the likes of somebody. I don't want to read. Maybe she really was just helping him with his research. Maybe she really was just helping with his research. Now, why do you want me to equip the goggles? I was going to equip them on eventually anyway. Ah. A memory dream state of using that to be unlocked. Got it. Let's go this way. At the end of the pillow. Must be Josie Harris's room. Josie's about my age. I guess she said she was only Bullard's assistant, but the spinsters are all sure it was something more. Bullard's young living assistant was away when the body was found. This stuff writes itself. Let's see Josie Heron's room. There. Paper in here. Aha! I found something. All these notes is lying around. Bobby, here's your latest chapter, all typed up. I think the story is becoming very interesting, and I'm sure you can get it published. I hope you don't mind, but I've made a few edits and inserted a few details here and there. I'm looking forward to your next chapter. From Joe. The Crystal Cave by Bobby Sawyer, who's trying to be an inspiring author. Chapter 3. The man had been dead for hours when they found him. He had crawled halfway up Sarah Johnson's porch steps before coming to a restroom outside the door, his feet dangling off the edge like spaghetti that somebody had cooked too long. Old Sarah just about keeled over when she saw him. The man was inked. Weird lines crisscrossed every inch of his skin, like Indian war paint. Even his eyelids were marked. The tattoos man looked like some African shaman out of the National Geographic, except that he was white and was wearing work overalls 2 sizes too big. Jimmy, the only cop on duty at 6 in the morning, thought maybe the man had escaped from a chain gang. Jimmy was never the sharpest tool in the shed. Detective Henderson, though, he's as smart as a whip. He had foes taken to the body, all naked and everything. He put the pictures up on his wall in the little station in the middle of town and started moving them around, turning them this way and that, until the tattoo edges started to line up. It took him 3 days, but he put it together like a jigsaw puzzle. Until the thick lines all connected to the thin lines and overall shapes became clear. Would you believe it? It was a map. When the coroner cut the man open, he found his insides were all twisted into the same map. And when they sawed into the man's bone, they found the map there too, etched into the marrow like veins on a tree stump. Well, that's how we first found our way to the cave. Aspiring fiction writer. Helping Bobby with his writing. There you go. Click there. Obviously check out the creepy wardrobe that's been sitting here after I check out the newspaper. Hero says helicopter may win Vietnam War. Yep. Day, Maine, South Vietnam. A Medal of Honor winner from Kansas said today the helicopter may win the war of South Vietnam. Marine Major Douglas Big Thompson, 39 from Fortuna, won the nation's highest military award during World War II, manning a bazooka in Iwo Jima. Major Thompson is attached to the Marine Helicopter Squadron, operating along the coast and northern border of South Vietnam. Thompson's father lives in Wichita, Kansas. As a leatherneck, Thompson destroyed 16 Japanese strong points and killed 75 Japanese on Iwo Jima in 1945. He is the only Medal of Honor winner currently serving Vietnam. The most effective weapon in the Viet Cong uses is terror, the big pipe-smoking Marine said. The most effective one against them is the helicopter. Very proud, apparently, of his country there. Check in there, and good. What's in here? A box. Not much of interest. So you claim. I think it's kind of suspicious. Not much of interest. Guess what might happen if I turn this on? I can't see jack and shit. Still waiting for one of those to move eventually to look at us. I also find my suspicious there's just nothing in here, so keep my eyes open as I move. Okay. It's like seeing him behind this back crevice over here. This window is painted shut. It's not budging. Well, that's unfortunate. Nothing else. Ooh, handprint.
Bill told me to cover Bullard's death, but he's just looking for gossip about the young assistant. But I took it seriously, did the research, followed every lead, like a real journalist would. It paid off. I found something everybody else missed. A note, a half-thought, scribbled in the margins of the coroner's draft report. It read, "Hypothermia in summer?"
Just a regular lamp. Mom has one of these at home. Oh boy. Let's see what's in here. Ooh, I know what this is for even. Something is holding the lid closed. There's a small dial mounted on the front, and guess what that's for? My circular dial. Oh, it makes a design. It's like the tattoo story that we read earlier, but it's a duck. Da-da! It's a small wooden knob. Small knob. Oh, I think I know where that goes. Looks like Josie's stuff. Lennon's books. Lennon's books. This put a note here. Dear Diary, today Dr. Bullard and I built a chassis for his new weather device. It's weird as usual. I don't get why we're building it, but Dr. Bullard doesn't explain things. Tomorrow I need to go buy some bottles for the base. Today was Mama's birthday. She would have been 54. I bet she wouldn't have liked the work I'm doing now. I hope she's proud of somewhere. I had the nightmare again. Last night, it's been over a year since I last had it, but it never changes. I've written about it over and over, but the rhyme seems to help, so I'll tell you about it again. I'm 5 years old, and in our apartment in Chicago. It's dark. I've gone out of bed to get some water, but I hear something coming from Mama's room. I peek in and see a tall man standing over her. He has his hands around her neck. He's breathing hard, and in the cold night air I can see his breath. He streams out of his mouth like smoke and seems to cover her. There isn't any breath coming from Mama. She's already dead, but he continues to squeeze. When I was a kid, I thought the dream wouldn't go away until when I grew up. It hasn't. Has recurring dreams about her mother's death. Rats. The safe combination isn't here. I'm pretty sure I saw a drawer with it missing out. You didn't have to tell me that. I already figured it out. Downstairs, though. I was gonna feel smart because I already figured it out, but then you have to tell me it's like... Anyways, it's not budging. Yep. Let's roll and go. Of course, it's backtracking when they try to get you with the best scare. I hide under the bed. Why am I hiding here? Doesn't seem like a good idea. Oh, okay, he scared me. Ending D. Dead end. Oh my. Well, I got that in my collection at the very least. Shiny. I was clicking things, I was doing things. Continue. What do I have in my inventory? Okay, so I know what I'm doing here. I think I know where I want to hide this time. Wardrobe I want to hide in anyway, but I accidentally darted about. Hi. Wardrobe wasn't a good hiding spot, apparently. Okay, so under the bed is what I can think of. Hiding in the other room is probably a better idea because the wardrobe's too obvious a hiding spot. I don't think it's gonna work either. Should have just climbed out the window which I opened earlier. Now that I saw that was a hiding spot. I think it's the woodcutter. I think he knows where I am. Hi. So I think I just need to leap out the window, which I opened up in the earlier scene. So I'm going to try that this time. I thought of that when I saw that it was clickable, but I clicked the bed first, so it put me there first. You're not a dumb stalker, I'll give you that. Window. That's what you should do, don't try to hide. Yes. Oh, flash memory here. So there's a place I can click to. I guess I should go there. There's no place this way. I'll take it. There's something here? Oh, this is in Japan. At least it's got a Japanese shrine type deal going on for it. There you go. What is this place? Which way should I go? Which way should I go? Well, the bird flew. We came from the way this is faced. Let me go the way that the lantern is faced. Maybe I'll find something. Well, that's a much brighter light than I expected. This looks familiar. Am I going in circles? I'm going in circles. Well, I'll figure it out. So it's not to the left. It's not forward. So how about this way? Let's turn this direction first. There'll be landmarks to help determine where we're going. This one has a bird on. Now there's also a tombstone here, so I know it's not the same area. This feels like the right way. How do I get out of here? By finding the right way again. So, it's this way, then that way. I'm getting closer, I feel it. Go forward and see if it teleports me away. Getting closer to what, though? We're gonna find the man in the mask all of a sudden in the snow foggy area? That's what I'm expecting. Little monkey tin thing. You guys are always look so... Why do they make the faces of these things always so creepy? I never understood this. Is it just to frighten little children? What's going on here? I don't understand. I understand better than you do, I think. Let's go inside. The monkey leap onto our face, because that's all those things are good for. Secret underground bunker. I guess I'll look down then. Peekaboo. Checking out for all of you. Don't have anything in my inventory and evidently just got locked in, so let's see how this goes down. Though this probably isn't us actually being alive, it's us seeing a flash someplace else. You are wearing the demon mask. That's not the least bit unsettling, though. No, I don't even mention it. So evidently, this guy that we see with the demon mask isn't the Woodcutter, because I assume that who just chased us with the Woodcutter. That person wears a green cloak and one of the Japanese masks. This is another one of the Japanese masks, but not that one. Yes, quite the exquisite expression. Let's go on through. I think we're about to wake up. I kind of want to see what's inside. Yeah. Surprising the killer didn't just come down and get us while we were, conked out down here. Must have hit my head. Man, the raincoat. Was that Woodcutter? Well, time to get up. This axe is stuck so deep in the ground that I can't get it out with one arm. That's unfortunate. So we're gonna go back inside. I'm not leaving until I figure out what's going on. Well, you're very determined. Peekaboo. Moodiness. Interesting. Balance the scales. It's a scale. Dr. Bullard, I've followed your instructions to calibrate the Tempest prognosticator. Your concern was correct. The bottles must be placed from heaviest to lightest to produce accurate results. The actual weight depends on the leech used, so I have to recalibrate every time we want to take a reading. Also note that recalibration is required if the battery of the base dies. However, the device works as intended. Once the model is aligned precisely with the moon, it may then be used to start the lunar dream apparatus safely. Josie. Bullard's research is crucial to this story. I wonder if I can get this thing working. Use Woodcutter calibrate the device. Easier said than done. What's this thing? There's evidently something there. Heretic flashlight battery. It's a flashlight battery for some reason. This door is stuck. There's electronics inside. It looks like a battery. H. Bullard, Daily Log, June 11th, 1965. Using the moon as a trigger for the lunar dream apparatus has its problems. The moon must be full, or nearly so, the night must be clear, and the process must be started at a very specific time to ensure that the moon is visible from inside the chamber. Josie has been following weather reports and using lunar charts to try to predict days for ideal testing conditions, but it's an error-prone process. The data we get back from the weather service just isn't precise enough. Today I hit upon the solution, well, build our own weather device. In fact, we can base it upon an exceedingly accurate design from a century ago. The Tempest Prognosticator, I think. I'll have to make some modifications for our purpose, of course. I'm sure that with some tuning, we can build a device that responds exactly to our weather needs. Then we'll need to get some leeches. Build a strange device to track the phase of the moon. That's all we picked up from that note, apparently. Must be the device Josie and Bullard built. It's some sort of weather prediction tool. Whatever Bullard was researching, he needed this thing to make it work correctly. I need to find the rest of the balls, fill them with leeches, and then find the correct order. So there is a thing over there, notably. Before I do too much, let me see what the monkey mask sees. Huh. Interesting. There's also a page hidden back there. It's very popular to hide them behind boxes, apparently. Chapter 4, The Subconscious Mind. The human brain is, at some level, not unlike the pot that produces my coffee every morning. The water I pour into it is infused with the qualities of the roasted bean. The grounds themselves do not phase through the filter, but the liquid that collects in the carafer is no longer simply water. It has been permanently altered. Every part of my body is a sensitive instrument. My skin, my eyes, my muscles, my tongue. If I am a coffee pot, the stream of psychological information is the water. My conscious mind is the coffee and the carafe. And the sieve, the filter that makes the drink palatable, is the subconscious mind. You wrote some very strange thing there when he was trying to read his novel. Strange anthologies.
Marguerite Higgins is my hero. She won a Pulitzer for her reporting in Korea. I went to college because of her. She goes to war zones, marches with the troops. Nothing scares her, and she gets the story. Marguerite Higgins doesn't run from a juicy story just because her life is in danger. Neither will I.
And there's our explanation for why she won't leave this, and yes, I see that note. November 15th, 1960. Dear Harris, I read in the paper today that you received a special award from the college for groundbreaking research. I am writing to wish you my sincere congratulations. I've said some things that I regret, but today I wish only to extend good wishes to you in your future endeavors. Do you know the scene in North by Northwest when Cary Grant disrupts an art auction? He makes nonsensical bids until the police are called to haul him away. I saw it last summer at the cinema we used to drive to in Logan. It was lonely to go alone, but that scene made me smile. My life feels like that sometimes. I poke my head up and say something crazy every now and then, just on the off chance that somebody will take me away from all this. I'm no Cary Grant. I am afraid. I would like to hear from you. Please write me back. Sincerely, Cynthia. Right now we were exploring a kitchen, right? So we took a little bit of a break, so I'm going to have to readjust, but we just played it last night, so my memory's not going to be too bad. Currently, there is, this is a point and click I should mention, even though if you've been watching so far, you'll probably already know that, but in case you didn't, so you kind of click on an area and you walk there. We're going to be playing point and click stuff here. There's a creepy basement here, but we need a light source. It's pitch black down there, not worth risking a fall with a broken arm. I'll need to find the light. Also, we should mention that my character has a broken arm, as we can see down there, but we don't know why she has a broken arm yet. But I have been collecting pieces of our past through weird handprints. So the clues I currently have is that inside this room there is a place that needs bottles. I have my inventory here. I currently have an empty bottle, 1 out of 4. I've got this weird mask thing. I've got a small knob, collected documents, objective, fireplace poker, and a blank piece of paper. All this I need to figure out. If you use the mask, you can see into the projection realm. And the only thing I've seen in the projection realm is this weird guy with a Japanese demon mask. There's some sort of weird connection to Japan in this game at the moment, which is odd for in the middle of nowhere, Kansas, but yeah. But it's only projections, and I'm wondering how that relates to us. We also fell out of a window and saw a weird scene of us in a snowy Japan type area, and we eventually ended up locked inside an underground bunker where that guy was standing there in a sort of butler uniform. The only other piece of information which I know I have on myself right now is that there is a fireplace here, and you can see there's some symbols there. It's star, circle, square. She says it's hard to make out, but I can see it perfectly fine. But if you pull out the mask, you can see a little bit clearer. It's stars, circle, square. Oh, also one more thing to show up before I do that. This painting shows a skeleton inside this realm, but in this realm it's just the guy who was murdered, which is kind of fascinating. We can also see the demon guy standing in the corner there. So, there you go. That's about everything which I know about my current situation. I got the fireplace poker from here, and I used the broom thing to dust away the ashes to find the symbols. There's also a lot of hidden notes and all that, which I've been collecting. I'm going to start by exploring this room and seeing what it is I can find. It was a rainy day in the middle of nowhere, Kansas. I'll walk up to the window first. I know the highway is out there somewhere, but I can't see it from here. It's only September, but today is cold, dark, and drizzly. Fall is here, I guess. This is really the middle of nowhere, even for Kansas. Just wheat as far as the eye can see. Let's walk over this way. I've already read the newspaper article. I don't say anything there. There are music sheet things here, though. Sheet music is scattered all over the floor. Was Bullard a musician? I didn't know that. Bullard is the guy who was murdered, who we apparently knew in our past and are now investigating. Music mystifies me. I don't even know what this is. Some sort of concerto? Now, I do want to see if there's anything I can investigate besides that. Is there anything inside the box? There was a piece of paper in there. I remember that. Nothing for the moment, though. Can I go behind this? Is there anything on like the backside? Sometimes there's deviously hidden things. So I'm trying to keep my eyes open, as I say, as I pull this out. Maybe there's a clue in the other realm. There's this guy standing in the corner. Wait, there's something there. Oh! Oh! There's something here. There are some loose floorboards here. That was lucky. Okay. I could probably pry these floorboards open with the right tool. Is it the fireplace poker? If I can get this poker wedged under a board, maybe I can pry it up. There's a hidden space under the floorboards. A lockbox is hidden in this hole. Alright, sometimes you have to investigate things more than once to get your information there. What's this? Oh, wait. Is this the shapes? This is the shapes. So star, circle, square. There we go. And what's inside? It's an old metal key. Cool. Got the old metal key into our collection. Does that go into the room that was locked over there? Probably. Bill, I owe you many thanks for forwarding my request to the New York Times. I think we have the opportunity to tell one of the great science stories of the 20th century and make a considerable sum in the process. The Times is a great first step, but when we are finished, I want to have a headline written about me on the front page of every paper in the country. The key to our success is Harris Bullard's brain research. He has discovered something fundamental about the operation of subconscious brain waves, and I believe that we will soon harness this knowledge to build a device whose object is to make men superhuman. Our first task is to procure this device before Bullard can publicize it, and my plans for accomplishing that are already in motion. Once the device is in my hands, I am confident that I can reproduce and improve upon his work. That, Mr. Mitchell, is where you come in. An invention of this magnitude must not be consigned to the boneyard of the academic journal. It deserves praise and recognition from the common man. We will make it the story of the year, and then we will sell the technology to those rich enough to meet our price. For now, we wait for Bullard to finish the device. Then, we will make our move. I look forward to your continued cooperation in this mutually beneficial partnership. Best regards, Graham Wellington. Seems like some people were after me research, Mr. Bullard's research in this case, but still though. That is what it is, what it is. Graham Wellington, aspiring to steal Bullard's research. Now there's not something else here. L20, R50, ooh. Find the safe combination. Figured it out. But I'm not even close to the safe right now, so that'll have to come eventually. Well, in the downtime, let me walk over this way. Probably the key I obtained is for this way, because there's a door that was locked here, and I assume it's what this is for. I got places to cross and things to do. I'll move over this way. I like the ambient noises in here. Previously, I swore it was getting darker in here, but now it looks lighter. I don't remember there being this much ambient noise. But yet, in this room, my mask guy doesn't really pick up anything. Like, I literally don't see anything here. It's one of the few rooms where I don't spot anything that is different from the real world. Now, I assume that the key is for this door, because it says it looked kind of like it was weak. Maybe I can break it down with something, but I assume it's what this key is for. I used the old key to unlock the door. Now, does this lead into the room I think it does? No, it does not. It's a bathroom. Leeches. Interesting. Let me look at this newspaper first. Cold winter increases risk of exposure. Kansas City, Kansas. With temperatures below 20 for most of the state, experts warn the deaths from hypothermia are on the rise. Several deaths have already been attributed to the cold this year, including 2 hikers found south of Ottawa and a man in Wichita. December is one of the deadliest months, says Charles Mannon, chief medical examiner at Ottawa PD. People don't realize how cold it's gone, and you gotta go unprepared. Profound hypothermia occurs when a person's core body temperature drops below 90 Fahrenheit. However, scientists do not understand why the deep cold kills some people and spares others. According to Manning, men are at greater risk than women, and the cold is particularly dangerous for thin people. Well, I mean, there's some clues there, but regardless, identifying death by hypothermia can be a challenge, said Manning. If the victim is found in the snow with his clothes half off, then we know, but sometimes bodies aren't recovered. Sometimes they're never found. Until much later, often without a mark on them, scientists do not understand why some victims of hypothermia remove their clothing, a phenomenon called paradoxal undressing, while others do not. Last March, the body of a 30-year-old woman who has been missing for several days was found near Topeka. After failing to identify the cause of death, the coroner chalked it up to exposure to the elements. The easiest way to stay safe is to not go out alone in the cold, especially at night, said Manning. If you must go out, make sure that other people know where you're headed and dress warmly. If you're in a car accident, stay in the car. Don't try to hoof it to the next town on your own. Yeah, anything inside the drawers? The second bottle. A bottle. The letter A is printed on the label. Now I've got 2 of the bottles, A and D. Now there's obviously leeches over here, so let's go take a look. I need to collect leeches. I guess the leeches are a recent addition. The tub is full of leeches. This is disgusting. Can I collect them in my bottles? I need to find all the 4 bottles first. Okay. There's a note here that's almost hidden. The Crystal Cave by Bobby Sawyer, Chapter 14. We rounded the corner and Johnson stopped dead, like he'd been given an electric shock. I about ran into him, cursing before I heard it. From somewhere far ahead, deep in the darkness, somebody was singing. A woman's voice. It echoed off the crystal walls and then seemed everywhere at once. The song was so faint I listened hard, but I couldn't make out the words. The melody was odd, ghost-like, but it was definitely a person singing. Johnson turned and looked at me, but didn't say anything. We both understood. Somebody was down there. Somebody who must know the way out. We were saved. We broke into a run, then Johnson cradling his arms as we tried to cross the forest to Crystal, scrabbling over translucent beams of amethyst, big as fallen redwoods. I slipped, hit the smooth surface hard, got up again. We followed the woman's voice deeper and deeper into the caves. Jimmy got to the plateau first. I could tell before I made the rise that something was wrong. Deep breath there. In the middle of the mesa was a sort of hatch, like something off the deck of a submarine. It was round and made of steel, and sticking out of it was a metal locking wheel. The woman saw and drifted up from it like smoke. I looked back at Johnson as I grasped the handle. He was out of breath, still clutching his wrist where his hand had been, trying to keep the cloth or tourniquet tight around the stump. We nodded, and I gave it a turn. Reading. There's definitely something going on there more in that story, but still, though, Crystal Cove. But of course, that's from Scooby Mystery Incorporated. There's also a note hidden here. There's a lot of hidden notes everywhere. H. Bullard, Daily Log, January 8th, 1956. As I sat idly by the window today, watching the snow slowly cover the fields, I remember the story of the Snow Woman. This is the third mention of the Snow Woman, so it's kind of weird it keeps on being brought up. I first encountered it in the thin volume of Japanese folk tales that somebody loaned to me at a base in Yokohama, and a decade later is the only story from that collection that I can recall. The Snow Woman is a fascinating character. She is a monster, a murderer, a force of nature, yet she has human qualities as well. Having fallen in love with a young man, she spares his life in order that she may appear to him later in another form and marry him. By telling her of his father's death, the man breaks a contract, but it's not just a contract between the man and the Snow Woman, it's a contract with the universe itself. It is what binds her to the mortal plane, allowing her to live as a human with the man she loves. By breaking his promise, he has destroyed her life. She is no longer able to remain with him, or with her family. Even if she should want to, it is no wonder she is angry. There's also a toilet. The toilet is a lot newer than the house itself. The toilet is spotless. What a complimentary toilet. Extremely clean, but otherwise unexceptional toilet. I say it's exceptional, but let's move over here. Oh, of course I was wearing a mask for a moment. This is real. I could die here. Now, I've had my theory that because we keep on seeing in the dream realm, the demon guy with the mask, there he is. Because that's supposed to be reflective of our subconscious. So obviously, this demon character we keep on seeing is somehow related to us. Given that he's not the killer, he's just someone that we see in our mental plane and saw in that dream sequence. Just having a nice, lovely leech tub bath thing at the moment. But on that front, though, I think it might be connected to us in some way. Then there's another killer that's wearing a Japanese mask, but it's not that mask. Thanks for watching the video. I'd very much appreciate if you take a moment to consider donating to my Patreon, which I am using to try and make this more of a livelihood, not just for missed game videos, but little games to make my own time, and to bring different types of videos to the channel. You can find the link for my Patreon in the description below, or in the video, obviously. If you'd be interested in seeing me recording gameplay videos and doing other things live, I stream quite regularly and record almost all my gameplay over at a site called Hitbox TV on my channel. You can also see that in the video currently. Hope you enjoyed the video, and adieu.